We have partnered with a world-renowned RF designer. They have looked at our network, they've looked at what's the most efficient placement and the best location for these towers. The design that we have is so solid.
Being able to place your network where you have designed your network means that the customer will have faster data. The customer will communicate better, which is ultimately what the goal should be.
We are ready. Turn us on.
Opposition members of parliament suspended after protesting over V. Alfred Gray. Where did the millions spent on Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival go? A man beaten to death and another shot and killed. Plus $1 million drug bust in Andros. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and NB12 starts right now. Welcome once again to NB12.
The House suspends. The House suspends the member for Central Grand Bahama, the member for Central Grand Bahama, the member for Kalani, the member for St. Anne's. Please leave the chambers. House suspends.
That was what preceded opposition members of parliament being suspended for the remainder of the afternoon session of today's House proceedings after they tried to bar MyCal MP V. Alfred Gray from delivering his contribution to the budget debate.
The chair recognizes the honourable member for MyCal.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am privileged to...
Members.
Hey.
No. Thank you, sir. Members, you're showing utter disrespect, both sides. But let me say this for the record. The member for MyCal has a right to speak in this place today. You are not going to deny him that right. You're not going to come in here. I'm not sure what your intention, but unless you are cheering him on, you're not going to come here and make noise to disrupt and molest the member. How can I, members, the chair is dealing with the matter.
The opposition's protest was in keeping with a pledge the FNM made to disrupt Gray whenever he stands to speak on the House floor. It stems from the Meguana scandal when a police investigation was launched into Gray's alleged interference in a magistrate's matter. No charges came out of the police investigation, and the government considers Gray exonerated, but the opposition isn't letting it go. In response today, House Speaker Dr. Kendall Major gave the opposition an ultimatum.
If you're going to knock on the desk and try to disrupt the honorable member for MyCal, stand to your feet and waltz out of this house, this honorable house, right now, because it will not be allowed. And consider yourself suspended. Period. I'm not going to tolerate it. It's childish, it's embarrassing, and you have no right.
Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner stood to leave before the other FNM MPs were suspended. Outside the House of Assembly, Party Leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said the FNM will continue to protest no matter the consequences, explaining he doesn't believe Gray deserves to sit in a parliament as a cabinet minister. In other news, it's been a month since the inaugural Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival, and despite a promise by Chairman of the Bahamas National Festival Commission that he would have a complete report within 3 weeks of the Monday following the event, there is still no indication as to where the money was spent. Paige McCartney spoke with the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture just after he finished his contribution to the budget debate today to find out why the figures from Carnival were absent from his speech. Here's her report.
It is well past the 21-day deadline that Bahamas National Festival Commission Chairman Paul Major set for himself to provide a full accounting of Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival. And according to Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Dr. Danny Johnson, there's no telling when that information will be made public.
I don't know. Everyone's going into summer now. I hope we catch them before the summer break comes.
That was the minister's response when asked when a report on the final cost of Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival could be expected to be tabled in the House of Assembly. Major called into Guardian radio talk show The Revolution the Monday after Carnival, declaring that he would have every detail as to how every dollar was spent within 21 days.
In 21 days, I have my information.
You're going to have it for me in 21 days?
Yeah.
I'm giving you 90 now.
I do it every month. I do it every month once, so okay. I know it was up to the end of April.
Okay.
So I've only got to do it now to close off the numbers for this month, and I've done it. I don't, and we have every dollar we spent with every vendor, every individual we help, every temporary help, every one of them I have documented, and there are probably 500 plus of them, individuals and companies, and we will have every detail
Let me
as
ask.
to how every dollar was spent.
But Johnson said the report has to be reviewed by private consultants before he can release it to the public.
They have a final report coming out that'll be, I think, a little more accurate than making any guesstimates. And so I would prefer I'd wait for the final report, just like what I did for IAAF World Relays. We let the professionals, there's accounting firms, and then the PR people do their reports, and then I'll come and table them in the House and release them to the media.
The commission was given around $9 million to put on carnival events in Grand Bahama and New Providence. Originally, the commission estimated that the economic impact from carnival would be $30 million, and the revenue would be about $4 million. Johnson said reports of cost overruns are not true.
You were able to stay on budget with the carnival?
Oh yeah.
So there's no truth to reports that you went over budget by $3 million?
No, it's, everything was well done. We really, that's why I wanted to thank everyone for the work they did. If you look at the entire budget, man, and we're fair to the Bahamian people, we've gone on. We're coming under budget, right? We're spending less and creating more opportunity.
Last week, several Bahamian artists who participated in the Music Masters competition confirmed that they had not been paid after winning. Sammy Starr won $20,000 for coming in first place. Erica Lady E placed second and won $12,000, and Colin McDonald won $8,000 for coming third place. The other artists who participated were given checks for $1,000. Johnson said he doesn't know anything about why the artists haven't been paid.
I don't know. I don't know what that is about. But I'm sure everyone will be sorted out. When we're in a budget cycle, we're just doing this debate now, and I think after the debate, then they release the next tranche, and everyone will be sorted out. I do think, just like with the Junkanoo thing, sometimes the prize monies for the different categories. I don't know if they're going to have an awards event, and you do it then. That's up to them. I think they'll fill me in a couple of weeks once we finish with this.
Johnson said government doesn't expect to earn a profit from Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival for at least another 3 to 5 years, but anticipates significantly less will be spent on the parades in the years to come. Reporting for MB12, I'm Paige McCartney.
A man was found naked and beaten to death in a vacant building on East Street this afternoon. Police believe his body had been there for at least 2 days before discovery. And earlier this morning, a man was shot and killed in the Fire Trail Road area in what police believe was a gunfight and possible robbery. Chief Superintendent Paul Roll, head of the Central Detective Unit, was at both scenes today and gave an update on the country's latest murders.
This individual has some bruising about the body, which it appears as though whomever attacked him may have beaten him and left him there for dead. His clothing were all removed. We found his pants and underwear and shirt nearby in the room.
The victim was found in a vacant building currently undergoing renovation at the rear of BPSU Hall on East Street, just south of Soldier Road. Roll said his naked and beaten body was discovered by a worker.
Workers who were doing some repairs at this BPSU building, one of the gentlemen went to the rear building to, I suppose, do an inspection, and as he stood at the window, observed the body of a black male lying on a box spring on the floor in that western room.
Roll said the victim may have been living in the house, as he's a person known to frequent the area with no fixed address, and asked for how long his body was there before they found it.
It appeared to have been in that condition for at least 2 days.
Just hours before this discovery, police were called to the scene of another murder. A 49-year-old man, police identified as Keith Davis, was shot and killed around 5:30 a.m., found dead on the lawn of his Allen's Close home by a relative.
Upon entering the yard, he noticed his relative lying on the lawn of the yard, and his shotgun was a short distance away from him.
Roll said police believe there was an exchange of gunfire between the victim and the assailants.
He discharged the shotgun at the assailants, obviously, we suspect. There was some exchange of gunshot between he and the assailant.
The victim was shot to his left chest. Roll said there were signs of a struggle, and the victim's car is also missing.
There was some signs of struggle in the yard, and we believe that the victim's Nissan Tiana, silver Nissan Tiana, is missing. We still have not located that. This vehicle is unaccounted for, and we found his driver's license out in the yard. So that suggests, and there was some evidence of struggle. So we are investigating the circumstances. We're not ruling out anything.
Police are now on the hunt for the suspects responsible for these latest killings and appeal to anyone with information regarding either of these incidents to contact them. Prime Minister Perry Christie was seen meeting with the Minister of State for Legal Affairs, Damian Gomez, inside the Majority Room of the House of Assembly this afternoon, following reports that Gomez is preparing to leave cabinet. According to trusted National Review sources, Gomez is frustrated that more than 6 weeks after Prime Minister Perry Christie refused to accept his resignation from cabinet, the Prime Minister had not met with him to discuss a possible transfer to another ministry. When asked what his plans are today, Gomez said while he does not intend to resign at this time, he's leaving his options open.
I'm not at this point looking to resign. I've just not commented on it. I'm always confronted with economic opportunities, and my saying no comment merely highlights the fact that at some point, if I choose to, I can do so without having led the public to believe that I was taking a course or not taking a course.
According to our sources, while Gomez will soon depart from the Christie cabinet, he will not resign from the House of Assembly. Gomez said his relationship with the Prime Minister is good and he still supports the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party.
I have been a supporter of the Progressive Liberal Party and of the Prime Minister in particular during probably the darkest moments of his political career. His counting on my support ought not really to be the subject of public speculation, having regard to the historical situation that we have enjoyed.